Oh, is that a wart on your finger?
Yeah, I got it from my pet frog.
Actually, this is a clear case of verruca vulgaris.
What?
Actually, warts are the manifestations of infectious disease.
But how did I catch this?
You were exposed to a pathogen, in this case a virus. However, a pathogen is anything that can cause disease, and there are numerous categories including protozoa, bacteria, fungi, prions, and of course viruses. Although all can make you sick, human illness is usually caused by either a virus or a bacteria. However, most bacteria operate in a symbiotic relationship within your body, causing no signs or symptoms whatsoever. In fact, you have 10 times as many bacterial cells in your body as you do your own. And without bacteria, you would not even be able to survive.
But I thought you said this was a viral infection.
Indeed it is. All viral infections are caused by a virus, which is a small amount of RNA or DNA, aka instructions for cellular structure and function. When a virus infects a human cell, its structure and function will change. When your cells don't function normally, this is called disease.
So, how did a virus get onto my finger anyway?
Well, modes of transmission are often the same, even though the manner in which pathogens make a person sick are different. Diseases don't just magically appear in or on your body. There must be a point of entry for the pathogen. There are two types of transmission: contact and non-contact. Contact can be direct or indirect. Non-contact can be vehicle, vector, or airborne. Contact transmission is when one person infects another, either through direct physical contact, infected skin, blood, saliva, or other bodily fluids, while indirect transmission is when an individual touches a surface where an infectious disease was deposited by an infected individual. These objects or surfaces are referred to as fomites.
For real?
Fomites. Faux real. When an individual coughs or sneezes and droplets become airborne, they can also cause an infection.
So, you're saying I got this wart because somebody sneezed on me?
No! More often than not, we get an infection simply by touching a surface. Someone who had a wart probably touched a doorknob or a keyboard, and then you came along and touched the same surface, thus getting the virus on your skin, where it caused individual cells to start looking different and ultimately functioning differently than the cells around them. The same principle is true for most infections. We get the pathogen on our hands, and then we do something stupid, like rub our eyes, pick our nose, eat a French fry.
So, how do I keep from getting sick anyway?
There are multiple strategies for preventing infectious disease transmission, but the two most important are staying current on your immunizations and washing your hands. Can I pet your frog?
Yeah, just don't touch my wart.
Oh, okay. Hi.
That was fun. And the reason that the members of the Omega Eta chapter created it is because that they know that we as a society can do a better job of preventing the spread of infectious disease. Earlier this month, Dr. Tom Frieden, director of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, announced Mission Critical. Mission Critical sounds important. It is. Mission Critical is a public health initiative to educate us all about the major health risks facing our country and the world. In his report, Dr. Frieden identifies 10 health risks and indicates that it is critical for our entire society to be educated about them. Of those 10 risks, 6 are for communicable infectious disease. Topping the list was, of course, Ebola. And although the risk for contracting Ebola here in the United States is extraordinarily low, the outbreak in West Africa is a wake-up call to us all because it illustrates a very simple principle. If a community does not understand how to prevent the spread of a specific disease, well, that disease is indeed going to spread throughout the community. Interestingly, the manner in which infectious disease spreads from one person to another is largely, not exclusively, largely the same regardless of the category into which that pathogen falls. So, if we as a community understand how to generally prevent the spread of a specific viral or bacterial pathogen, it will go a long way toward preventing the spread of all viral and bacterial pathogens. More often than not, when we get sick, we have inflicted the pathogen upon ourselves. Our skin is an amazing barrier, and it does a really good job of keeping the bad stuff out and the good stuff in. But day in and day out, we are constantly touching surfaces that other people have touched. It is safe to say that those surfaces are heavily laden with pathogens that can make us sick. If a pathogen gets on your hands and then you introduce it into your body by rubbing your eyes, picking your nose, or yes, just eating, you are giving that pathogen an opportunity to cause an infection. Thus, the primary strategy to reduce the spread of infectious disease is just to wash our hands and to be acutely aware of those high-touch surfaces and not to touch them unless it is necessary. Additionally, you are going to be seeing some high-tech solutions become commonplace in our society. When they are available, the members of the Omega Eta chapter recommend using them. A second strategy is just to stay current on your immunizations. The CDC has a recommended adult immunization schedule, and you need to be talking with your doctor at least once per year about what immunizations you should be getting. The last major item about which our communities need to be educated is antibiotic resistance. It was less than 100 years ago that this man accidentally discovered penicillin. Since that time, many other antibiotics have been developed and made readily available. However, bacteria are evolving, and antibiotic resistance is quickly becoming one of the major problems of our time. This phenomenon is largely occurring because we, as a society, are not using antibiotics correctly. So, the members of the Omega Eta chapter want to encourage you to be actively involved in reducing the spread of infectious disease. Strategies include wash your hands, stay current on your immunizations, and utilize antibiotics only when you need them. And when you do utilize them, always follow your doctor's orders precisely, which almost always means taking all of your prescription. As part of our Honors in Action project, we would like to encourage you to watch Dr. Tom Frieden's presentation of Mission Critical. Lastly, so we can document the impact of this video, please like the original post on Facebook or like this video on YouTube. And if you want to stay up to date on what our chapter is doing throughout the year, go to facebook.com/nrcc.ptk and send us a friend request. Here's wishing you a happy, healthy, and infection-free holiday season.